Welcome. Hoping, I don't know where we're live though. That's a good question. I'm not sure whether we're live. It says we're live, but the schedule's still showing. Okay, let's remove the card. And I'm going to hide that. I'm going to hide that. I'm going to say good morning, Peter. No, there's little or no sound coming from. Okay, if you refresh and come back in and we'll see what happens then. So this is fast becoming a tradition. And I'm just going to go over there. I'm going to wait a second or two. I'm going to X Peter. We should come back to me, theoretically. This is Gremlin Day. Trying to get everything sorted. Okay. Hello and welcome. We've got first problem of the day is that Peter has no sound. At least I can't hear him, but I've played my speakers and my speakers seem to be okay. And my microphone seems to be okay as well. If you are watching us live, I'd like to say thank you and welcome. If you'd like to say hello, then please do. And as soon as we get another member of the team on screen, I shall bring them on screen. Hoping that John is available and Stephen is available. Everybody got the link last night to actually join us live on the show. It's never changed in the last year or so, but every night I actually post the link so that it's there in Messenger for people to use. As I say, if you are watching live, then please say hello. This is interesting. Okay, well, I've nothing prepared because I was expecting this to be Blabbing for Britain, but it's Blabbing for Britain with Stephen. So welcome to the show. I just need to change the colorway. And if I go to the themes, because that white is bugging me, let's go for blue. Okay, so that's back to normal. That's looking good. And the theme has been changed. So this is Blabbing for Britain, episode 299. And it leads you to think, will there be, and morning, Mr. Shepherd, it leads you to believe, will there be a Blabbing for Britain 300? Well, it might be just me solo. I mean, anything's possible. I've not heard word one from anybody. Peter's been trying to get in, but has no sound, and I don't know whether he's given up or not. It'd be a shame. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The joys of being live. I'm going to show the card again because there should be. This is what it should look like. There should be 4 of us on screen. And I'm going to take my background off because that's a bit jazzy for early in the morning. Well, it's not really early, but. And I'm going to change. I'm just going to change things around a minute. Just a second. I need to move that. Excuse my back of my head. I need to move that over there. I need to turn this round. Okay. And check again whether there's actually anybody. No, there's nobody waiting. Okay, so I'm going to take it that Stephen's not going to turn up and John's still recovering from his visit to the dentist, and Peter has no sound. Well, he's got a microphone which isn't working properly. So Blabbing for Britain, episode 299, a UK news review. If anybody wants to join me on camera, I'm going to post a link and we'll do this a different way. So if you want to join me on camera, the link to join me on camera is there. Why not? You're more than welcome to come and have a chat about anything you like in relation to what's happening in the UK and Ireland at the moment. That's a subtle hint, Joe. As I check again to see whether anybody's actually turning up. There are obviously reasons, but I haven't got anything in Messenger. I'm just going to check Messenger to see if anybody has said anything. Oh, hang on, I can't check it there. Just give me a second. I need to go over here and grow that and just bring up Messenger. Okay, so I'm bringing up Messenger on my Chrome browser, and that's taking its time. It's there. Okay, and I've got a message coming in for John. So I'm just catching up with the messages. Hi guys. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's come back to me. Right. Okay. So just messaging from John. John is recovering from surgery, dentistry, and there you have it. Peter's given up because his microphone's not working on his laptop, and Stephen. We've not heard from Stephen. Okay, so let's come back. Somebody's come in the studio. I know they have. And another test. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed. Morning, Peter. No, just no sound. There's no volume at all. At all. Can you do a right? Okay, because I can't change anything. I've not got you muted. I can hear you just, but not enough for everybody else to hear. I've got a suggestion. Okay, positive suggestion. Can you try and do a broadcast on Facebook with that? No, you can't go on Facebook. Right. Okay. All right. Can you tell me in Messenger what the problem is? Okay. So okay, back to me. Peter has a non-speaking role today. Something wrong with his equipment, his microphone, and he can't test on Facebook. So that makes it a little bit difficult to actually get a solution. I mean, if it is the Be Live studio that's causing a problem, then okay. But I do need to know where we're live. Okay. Things are not going well at the moment. And going back to the messages, see if we've got a message from Stephen. No message from Stephen. So Stephen's out and about somewhere. Okay, that's an update on what's going on. So you just, I suppose at this point, I've got to say you're just with me at the moment. So try Peter again. Hello? No. There's just no there's no volume. It's as if your microphone volumes turn right down. Right. Okay. You're on a laptop. You're on Windows. Right hand corner, there is a speaker. Okay. Right click on it and open sound settings. Yeah. Have you got? Oh, we're that far. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, let's do a bit of live window. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to bring this on screen. We'll go through this step by step. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to go full screen. Right, okay, so here's the sound settings, Peter. The top one, not too worried about. Output will be via your speakers. And then it's the one here, the input. Which microphone are you using? And is that bar moving like mine is moving? So is that bar moving? Test your microphone. Does that show anything at all? So the key is to be on the correct microphone and with the bar moving. If the bar is not moving, underneath is a button for troubleshooting. And that will take you step by step through sorting out your sound. It does seem like something on your computer has updated itself. And as I had the problem last week, you've got a problem this week. Right, is there any effect from checking that? Right, okay. Nothing? Right. Can you reboot your machine and come back? Okay, let's go through this step by step. Okay, so we have live troubleshooting to make sure that everything is working on Peter's computer. John is resting and we'll be back for episode 300. He has said he will be here, which is good. I think everybody's going to be here for 300. At least I'm hoping that everybody's here for 300. It would be good if we could get together for that particular episode and then take it forward from there. Okay, now when I go on Amazon Live, which I will be doing at 2 o'clock today with Marco Novo, we actually talk for an hour and a half to 2 hours, totally unscripted. And we're driven by what's down in the carousel. And we can just do it. But that's because we've sort of prepared for it. We know we're going to talk about cameras, microphones, green screens, lighting, camera confidence, broadcasting to the web, all sorts of features. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Peter is back now. Hello, Peter. No. Okay, what I'm going to do, just to check that it's nothing in the studio, I'm just going to go over to Facebook, Peter, if I can. Oh, everything's going wrong today. I'm going to go over to Facebook and try and find us. Okay, so I'm going to find the broadcast, and then if you could talk for a minute, and we'll see if we can hear you on Facebook. That's probably because it could be just in the studio, who knows? But it does make it difficult to listen. Yeah. So did the troubleshooting of the microphone work? Okay, I'm not sure I can be heard now. And I'm waiting for this to come up. Okay. I'm not sure we're going to get anywhere, Peter, because if you can't go on Facebook and do a quick recording, then it's a problem, because we need to test it outside of the studio. Yeah. Yeah, it does need to be tested, and we obviously can't do that whilst we're live because I can't hear you. I'm going to stop sharing now, which removes that. Come back to the three of us. Okay, Blabbing for it, episode 299. And there's just no sound from Peter. Hopefully there's sound from me. Checking that my microphone's working. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. I've got another Peter ready to join the broadcast. Wait a minute. So will the real Peter stand up? Hello, Peter.
Leave? I'm going to leave here. I'm now on my phone. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
What a disaster.
Yep, the sound's going on your computer, Peter.
Yeah, well, I think the Windows updated or something, and the usual. Don't know. Right. What is
Well,
it
that's
doing
what
now?
happens. There should only be one of you.
Okay.
It might be playing catch up. The other thing with being on mobile phone is noises off, and hopefully somebody arriving with a microphone, or possibly, I don't know.
Right.
Just a second, we're nearly there. Oh, good. And we did have. I think we're waiting for Stoke and Stephen Silk. He was. Good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Right. Okay. Message from John. John's recovering from Tuesday, so he won't be with us today. And we're having. There are sound problems on Peter, so Peter's on mobile. But good morning. How are things in Stoke?
Oh, delightful, mate. Delightful. We've got something like 90 degrees over here. Beautiful sunshine, and the beach over there is gently going to the shore. The palm trees are glorious. Yes, only a nice time in Stoke. I lied.
All good. Right. I had a special item on the agenda.
You have an agenda.
I have an agenda.
What is he doing?
Peter,
What are you doing?
I don't know what he's doing. I don't think he realises how noisy this is.
I'm here. I'm doing something.
Yep, and I know, but we can see the top of your head. We can see your glasses.
Yeah, I'm getting my earplugs in. It doesn't fit with the cover.
Right. Okay. Whilst you're doing that, Peter, now I know I've got this wrong, Stephen. I do apologise.
Right. Okay. That's
right,
me
okay.
now. They're putting this in because I can't hear Stephen. Stephen, could you come? Stephen Silk, come nearer your microphone.
No. How is it now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Okay. Now I know I've got this next story title wrong, and it should in fact be Admiral Kirk. So I put my hands up for that. It should be Admiral Kirk, but I'm just going to say what a fantastic adventure he had yesterday.
He certainly did. He was almost dumbstruck by what he experienced. And good luck to him. He's the oldest bloke ever to be in orbit in space. 90 years old he is. And do you know, it reminds me of when I met the last man on the moon. My family appreciate this. And this is the photo of me with Captain Gene Cernan, the late Captain Gene Cernan. I met him in Austin, Texas, about 5-6 years ago. He was plugging his film, which he was developing, and you couldn't wait. Wanted me tonight. It was a superhero of mine. They say you should never meet your superheroes. Not true. It was lovely to meet him. Became a very close personal friend, or not. But yeah, so Kirk's done their 5 minutes of weightlessness. Good luck to him. Well done. But it raised. I mean, it's interesting because Prince William has raised this morning the fact that these space tourism flights, fantastic though they are, they're not taking us any further in the great scientific and engineering and long-term validity of the human race. It's very much a vanity project because they can afford it, and good luck to them. But it's not the sort of thing that gets me anything other than, oh, bright lights, yeah, very good, and then 5 minutes later, it was a successful landing. both for the re-entry of the booster and indeed the capsule. But the big game, the really big game is the SpaceX story, what they're doing to get men back on the moon after 50 years. In fact, my mate there, the late great Commander Gene Cernan, was the last man to be on the moon, last human to be on the moon. And that story is the one that really gets me and gets all the other aficionados going, because it really is. It's a continuation of the search for advancement, and it's still in the planning that Elon Musk and the SpaceX guys will land on Mars within the next 5 years. And when you consider that, it's truly incredible. So yeah, well done to Branson and Bezos for spending their money on vanity projects. I suppose I am critical of it, but the real story is still unfolding. And unfortunately, Bezos is doing everything he can to put a spanner in the works of the Artemis program, the one that gets Americans back onto the moon, and is putting it at risk, frankly. And that's all going to come to a head in the next couple of weeks when we find out what his beef is with NASA and going forward. So yeah, I love the fact that William Shatner's up there. Come back down, love it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's science fiction becomes science fact. I mean, when he actually made the Star Trek series, he could never have imagined that he himself would be in space. And I applaud at 90 because he was against it for quite a few years. But for him actually going up there, okay, the bit of it is PR, bit of it is you've got to have the money to do it. But they must be doing some scientific or something of scientific worth in actually doing this. Peter.
Hello.
Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk.
Do you know, I think it's a great thing because all the Trekkie fans and stuff like that, somebody like that going into space, it's the start of the exploration of going to the outer limits, you know? Right. So it's a good story. The man's 90, right?
Oh, yeah.
If he died tomorrow, what a way to end his life. He must be chuffed.
Indeed.
I think with Stephen Silk, if you got the chance to do what he done tomorrow, would you do it?
No, I'm too scared.
I would. I would.
I'm too scared of confined spaces. Don't like it.
All right.
I'm sure I can get over it. But
yeah,
not
but
at the moment.
Remember what you said to me a few weeks ago about the start and the learning new things. This is the start of it. They've taken a non-astronaut into space, right? It's the start of new age travel. We'll be able to go up and come down quicker. It's the start. It's the invention of the field, the ball, rolling down that hill. Yeah, I think it was a good thing. And to use William Shatner for it, I just think it's a good thing. Cost a lot of money, of course, but it's the start.
I agree. Okay. What else should we talk about? What else is in the news that's of interest? I can come up with some topics, but
yeah, do you know, have you looked at the news? I don't know what's going on just now.
I don't watch it either, Pete.
Just recently, kind of turned off from it. I personally listen to more music. I'll tell you a laugh yesterday, though. I'll give you a laugh yesterday. People are starting to meet again. And I was invited to go to BNI, the business networking. I was a member for 4 years in the pest control business. But the guy that I go to the pub and sing for, he says, could you come along as a guest? This is okay, to help him out. No, it was an entertainer's, it was a mix of people. And so they had a funeral, a celebrant there that dealt with weddings and funerals and everything, and the local undertaker that I know too. So when I give my pitch, I stood up and I went, hello, I won't sing it, but hello, hello again. It's nice to see my friends again. They stopped and I said, well, maybe some. And at the end of it, I told them I'd done, what was it? I'd done, I says, small parties, and the reason I do house parties, and the reason I like them is because people can't escape if they don't like them. And then I do a lot of weddings, and I says, I've yet to do a funeral, you know. So it went down well. And one lady wants to book me for a whiskey place. And then the undertaker come up and says, Peter, have you ever thought of becoming a funeral celebrant? I said, well, actually, I have. And the guy, Neil Dorward, he says, that's who I trained with to be a celebrant, because he does it as well, the undertaker. And so he says, even if you do a couple a month, he says, it's extra money. And he says, I think you do well at it. So you just never know what you may get. So, and the room was absolutely jam-packed. It was a very, very busy meeting.
Is it something you're going to do, Peter?
Well, you see, what, the celebrant?
Yeah.
Yes, I was asked to do it before, and I am considering it. We've got a couple of local personalities that do it. Regular DJs have actually, but because of my Toastmasters training, no, the lady that followed me actually says, how can I follow that? You know, because you had them entertained and I had them laughing. And a lot of people in the past have actually said to me, you should be a lay preacher. Is that not interesting? Clear and concise and stuff like that, you know. I think you get about £180, but there's more to it than you think. There's quite a lot of work. You have to meet
I mean, I did look into it, and there are, because my mother wasn't religious, so we had a celebrant for her funeral.
Yes.
And it told my mum's life story, and everybody was there was expecting a Christian service, and it was totally moving, is the right word, and it featured everybody who was in the family. And at the end of the service, you felt you know it. Yes, okay.
The thing is, Stephen, there's actually a lot of laughter at funerals now. I've seen it myself, non-religious whatsoever. And unfortunately, I was at a funeral of a young lady, a friend of mine, not all that long ago, and there was no religion whatsoever in it. And that happens quite a lot now. And this undertaker that I know, he actually goes out and meets people, and he had a coffin that was bright and colourful. It's an exhibition, not a business exhibition. So the funeral industry is changing, and you've got to change with the times. But what was the question I was going? What was the thing I was going to say about? Yeah, he says the problem is, Peter, I'm going to go and have a chat with him, because he says the problem is you don't know the people sometimes, right? If you're a funeral celebrant, so there's a lot of cut and paste. I think the secret is to meet the family and get to know that person. Tell me about him. What was his likes? What was his dislikes? Give him a funny experience with him. What was his passion? What was their passion? On and on and on, and just dig in deep. It's the same when I done a talk to 500 people at school. I was on there 3 times asking questions. One, what do you want from it? What's the message you want to end the day? What do you think they want to hear? Blah, blah, blah. So you've got there's a wee bit of work involved, you know.
I had 3 phone calls with the celebrant, and each of them covered different aspects of our mother's life. And basically, he then came together and brought all the stories from throughout her life together. And he basically they do have. I mean, there's a template. I mean, let's face it. There's a template for a funeral,
Yeah.
and part of it will be standard for each funeral, but the other part is the personal side of things, and he did very well, and that's why I went on to find out more about it, really, to see, because he was just different and down to earth and real.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, my uncle wouldn't. My uncle, my uncle was a bit funny. I says, I will do your funeral, because he'd one leg and everything, and I used to torment. He says, there's no way you're doing my funeral. Now, when we went to his funeral, there was a guy who was an undertaker, and he was a bit of a nervous character, and he came to Toastmasters. I met him. So what I done is I hid behind a body so he couldn't see me. But there was another celebrant in the audience too, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was nervous and came out, and he came outside, and the first thing he says, how do you feel it went? I says, it's not a time to chat about this. You got through it, well done. He packed in the next day, he was full of nerves.
Yeah.
Because if you get something wrong as a celebrant, people will talk about you and say, yeah, you didn't. My uncle didn't say that. My uncle wasn't like that sort of stuff, you know.
You've only got one take.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things I'd be terrified of, if you've done a lot of them, and say, we're gathered here today to celebrate the life of, who is it again? You'd have to
I do think they know whose funeral they're at. I'm pretty sure that they get that bit right.
Yeah.
They may overemphasize different parts of different stories. But
so I was saying to them, a celebrant nodded their head as well, because I says the most song that's played at a funeral is what?
Angels by Robbie Williams?
No. Stephen?
No, I've no idea.
Oh, it's Monty Python. Is it?
No, it's My Way.
Oh, bloody hell.
It's My Way. And the Undertaker again said, because I'd said, I says, for instance, My Way is the most played song at funerals. I says, no, I've yet to sing at a funeral. And he come up and says, Peter, if anybody mentions it, I'll say I know a guy who can sing that for you. I would maybe go, not maybe at the funeral itself, but the after tea. Not in the lounge, and say, I'm going to do a few songs for you to remember Uncle Johnny, because this was his favourite singer, Frank Sinatra. 150 pounds, please. Thank you very much. Silence.
Okay. Anything else we'd like to talk about?
The bus driver situation. Did you know there's a big problem with bus drivers?
No, go on.
Oh, more.
So, I know firsthand as a bus driver. How would you like to go to your work in the morning, do 3 hours, then get booked off, go home, come back in, and finish off your hours, maybe at about 3:30, right? So your work is spread over 12 hours.
Yeah.
But you only get paid 8 for it.
Yeah.
And that's what they call a split shift.
Yes.
And they changed the travelling time. You used to get time to go for your bus. They cut back everything. And the public are on them, the management, because if you brake too hard nowadays or anything like that, it's all managed, and it goes to a computer, and you're brought in and said, why did you brake hard that day? And the drivers, there's not a shortage of drivers. Okay. The problem is they're all leaving because of the way they're treated. Yeah. And if you look at the things on Facebook about it, and I can understand it, it's such a stressful job. And I remember a few of the guys I worked with having heart attacks, the stress. And everybody think, oh, easy job until you do it. So it's split shifts, not the best of money, dealing with the public, times that they give you the same time, no matter what the traffic is, to get to depot. And I'll tell you something, when I was a bus driver, I'd not long come out of the army, and it was stricter than the army. They'll pull you up for anything, even a 10-pence ticket, which I got done. And I'll tell you the irony of that. The guy sat there and he said to me, you know, that's a serious offence. It was a 10-pence ticket, and I'd forgot to give the kid because there was a load of them coming on the bus. And how things changed, because he left, this manager type guy, superintendent was, and guess what? He became a lorry driver. And he got done for stealing pipe. And I met him in the street and I went, hello there. You had me a thief for 10-pence. But the money was there, so I was covered. You done it for £5,000, you thief. And you run down the street. Ha ha ha. Revenge is sweet.
My bus story starts at the Race for Life, which took place in Newbury, at Newbury Racecourse, a week last Sunday. 10K, Angelica and her daughter. Angelica's been doing it since 2002. So this was 18th because we missed one. Race for Life, and she started off doing 5Ks, and then in 2014, when Katie joined us, she started doing 10K. So for the last 7 years, they've done 10K, and it was at the Newbury Racecourse, and the walk was around the course itself. Okay, absolutely brilliant. 10K. After the first kilometre, Angelica stumbled over a piece of wood and twisted her ankle. And then most people at that point would have said, right, okay, that's me done. But not Angelica. Angelica went on and did the other 9K. All of which brings us to yesterday when I went on a bus ride. And it's my first bus ride for ages. And I went on the bus because Angelica can't drive at the moment. She's recovering though, so that's good. But I went on a bus yesterday, and it must be one of the best bus routes in England. It runs from Devizes to Swindon via Avebury, and you're so high up on the bus, you can actually see the stones at Avebury as you drive. I mean, you can't do it in a car. Car's too low down. Walking, you can't do it. But when you're in a bus, especially if you're on the top deck, you can actually see the layout of Avebury. And it's an amazing sight. Again, long story short, my opticians late last year sent me to the hospital for some glaucoma tests. And I had the first test in February, which said it was borderline. I had the second test yesterday, and it's unlikely that I will develop glaucoma, which I'm grateful for, and it's a big relief. Thank you, guys. And now I can go on and I can have the eyes sorted with implants. So that's my next job, is to get my eyes done. Yeah, and that is good, really good news.
I remember the day you told us. Obviously, you were very upset about it.
Yeah,
I'm glad about that. You know, hey, just you're going in the buses again. You've really set memories for me again. One night, I was going out in a country run. It was dark. Do you know the only thing I had with me on the bus? A coffin.
Oh.
We used to take coffins to the local undertaker on the bus.
Wow.
And it was eerie. And then another one, quickly. So, in Aberdeen, there's a number 9 and 10.
To the door, guys.
Okay. The 9 went left and the 10 went right, and they were alternative. It was a circular, right?
Okay.
I was the first bus out in Aberdeen the new route, and I went up, and all the fish workers. So I was at the terminus, and all the fish workers were the other side of the road. I'd went round the wrong way. Okay. So nobody come on. I looked. Then I moved off away. Left them. Nobody thought. They never thought to cross the road. So the next day, they'd all been phoning in about their bus. They were late
Oh,
for
yeah,
their work and everything. So what happened was the next day, I came round the right way. And none of them noticed me. They didn't clock I was the same driver. And they said, what happened to the bus yesterday? I said, oh, that guy, he slept in. The buses were to me, they were a scream. It was I had a good laugh on the buses, you know. Yeah, it was good. So so I spoke to a chap yesterday. He worked for his father all his life doing the same job. And when I told him everything I've done, he says, "You've had a marvelous life compared to me." His dad says, "You're working with me, and that's it. He just done it all his life." But I was down in Edinburgh last week. Oh, and I got to use my free bus pass for the first time in ages. I didn't realise you got to Edinburgh. But as a coincidence, my friend from Swindon, stays in Swindon, was the same tank as me, and you're not going to believe this. So I said, right, I'm going to walk along, instead of going on to Princess Street in Edinburgh, there's a parallel road underneath it, which is the park. And for some reason, I said, I'm going to walk down there. But then Sheila said, no, we'll go up to Princess Street and walk. My friend, and I'd been waiting for Sheila outside, he put a post up. I hadn't seen him for years. I know, because he's from Edinburgh. Lovely picture in the garden. We'd missed each other, and we were both standing in the same area at the same time. I was above him, he was below, and we never met. I was fuming. Oh, by the way, did you like me in the camper van? That was fun.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the camper van?
No. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Well, here's why. It was my first outing. I was getting to know. But we'd parked in a gradient where the foot is. There's nothing to do. It was our pitch. And we hadn't bought blocks to level off the van.
Yeah.
So we ended up in a slope. We kept rolling down a hill at night, sleeping. And I couldn't stretch out properly. And I was getting cramped. So that was that. So we're never going out and camping again without putting on, what do you call it, the tent thing on it. What do you call it?
The extension.
The extension, whatever it's called. And we're going to be doing that. So, but it was a good experience, you know. And it was a learning curve. But it was great. 20 quid a petrol down, diesel down, parked up a bit. It brought back memories for it. I'll certainly be doing it again. We might actually be getting a bigger one now after that. Yeah. Right. So it was good. But listen, I said I would always do it, didn't I? I've done it. That was a goal of mine.
Excellent.
Let Stephen sulk in.
Yeah, he's about.
I'm listening. Don't worry, I'm listening. And just because of what you just said about opticians, I've just written down on my piece of paper that me and Sue are going to
go.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, guys, mate. It's one of those days. Power's going. That's it. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to go to the opticians at the moment until the cataracts have been removed.
Oh, that's good.
So, have you gone booked? Have you got your appointment booked?
Not yet. I'm waiting. They're going to let me know in 3 weeks' time.
Excellent. You won't. I'll find a difference, Stephen. I've had both mine done.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Day and night. It's day and night difference, I tell you. It's bloody superb.
Well, unfortunately, I've got the dentist after this.
Okay, we don't talk about dentists, Peter, by the way.
2 chipped teeth and probably
we don't talk about
abscess.
dentists, Peter, by the way.
Do you know?
We don't talk about dentists, Peter. Okay? In case you were under any misapprehension, we don't talk about dentists. So
okay, right.
Okay.
What is happening in the news? And another reason the drivers are leaving the buses is because the heavy goods drivers are getting paid a lot of money to drive a truck. They're actually getting headhunted. You're aware of that?
but basically, we've offered European truck drivers 5,000 jobs.
Yeah, but it's only about 7%. Do you know how many people applied? Do you know how many applied?
20.
1,300.
20.
Yeah, 20 have gone through it. 130 applied.
But that's not going to solve the problem.
No.
The DVLA or DVS, they're calling them, I think, they went on strike. There's a backlog.
They haven't gone on strike yet.
They did. They have been on strike.
Well, there's a backlog whether or not there's a big backlog, and they're actually going to each examiner is going to take one extra test a day.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's not gonna solve this problem.
It's a sticking plaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just,
you know, the toilet facilities, they're paying £30 to park up, and there's no food or anything. They won't go into the toilet facilities, but take a bucket with you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's a hard life. Would you like to work 4 days a week away from home, 5 days a week?
Nope.
Come home. Police chasing you all the time. No, they get pulled in quite a lot to check the weight of the lorry, etc., etc. The tachograph, the driving hours. And you've got to have a 45-minute break at 4 hours. And if you're traveling the road, you have to try and find a space. So you go along the road and they're all full of lorries and you can't get in. You've went over your time. The police will book you for it.
Yeah.
So they've got to change the facilities. They go to, I won't mention supermarkets, they go to supermarkets and the driver says, I want the toilet. They won't let them in to use the toilet. That's
It's not on.
It's a disgrace. And they wonder why. I've got a heavy goods vehicle. Well, it's always there. But if I went to go and do part-time driving now, I have to go and get a medical. And then I have to do a thing called a CPC, which costs about 350 quid. It's a joke.
Please.
And that's the problem. And the government knew this was coming years ago. Because kids aren't going into lorry driving anymore because they're going to play with their PlayStations and everything, even as adults. And there's nowhere to play them in a lorry. There you go.
I've frozen.
No, you're okay.
All right, I'm okay.
Yeah.
My computer froze for a moment. Okay, what's your take on VPNs, Stephen?
VPNs, love them.
Do you have one?
No. I should though. They're really, very, very good idea.
Why'd you ask?
I can't say why I like them. Let's just say blockbuster movies. No, I can't even say that. No, they're a really good idea.
Right.
Well, I use Dashlane as a password manager, and they've just bought, or they've tied up with a VPN system. So I'm just trying it out at the moment. I'll let you know how it goes. Just a moment, let me find it. I tried to close it down earlier.
You say you use a Dashlane for password manager?
Yeah.
How long have you had it and how is it going?
I've had it for 4 years and it's absolutely brilliant across all devices. It even works on the iPad.
So I'm taking that as a recommendation, Stephen. Is that correct?
It's a definite recommendation. I couldn't live without it. I mean, it works on the Android, it works on the iPad. I never need to. I just need to remember one password. That's it. Everything else is taken.
Well, I'm someone who suffers from password rage.
Me too, Peter. Me too.
Password rage. It does my nothing. Hey, talking about things like that is cracky. Let me tell you a story.
Before you do, Pete. Before you do.
Yeah.
What was the VPN, Stephen?
That's a good question, Stephen. Just let me close that down, and whilst Peter's talking, I'll find out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, right. So I'm going down for a pest control exhibition in November. So I decided to go and try and buy a ticket on the sleeper train from Aberdeen. It goes to London. I can't miss my stop because it's the end of the line. And so I went on, and it was £200. I thought, what a bargain. No hotel rooms or nothing. I come back the same night, £100 each way. I'll get that later. I came back, they put it up to 230. And then I went back again. I said, that's maybe so. It was up to 270. Then somebody said to me, why don't you go onto Google Chrome and go incognito? So I went incognito and I got it for the original £200. Play them in the wrong game. And that's the story.
Brilliant.
Very good point, dude. Very good point.
Yeah, it's called Hotspot Shield, I think. Hotspot Shield, and it's part of the Dashlane subscription now.
Right.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dashlane subscription is $40 a year. And for
Yeah,
that
I'm just
you
on their
get
site, and it's most popular one, premium, is it's $4 a month.
it's cheaper to get Dashlane, because then you get the password manager as well.
Sorry. Yeah,
Get the
I'm on
VPN too.
Dashlane now, and I can do a 30-day premium trial, which I will. But where's the bit about the VPN?
It'd be as soon as you get into the trial, you have access to it, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the Dashlane site that you're on. Yeah, it simply works, and the premium version stores all your.
Oh, there we go. VPN for Wi-Fi protection.
Yeah.
That's me. And how long have you had the VPN with Dashlane?
Yeah.
Stephen?
Good stuff. Sorry?
How long have you had the VPN bit of Dashlane?
1 day.
Okay.
I am literally just I found it yesterday. I'm just trying it out.
Cool.
It's not live at the moment. I didn't want to try it with a live broadcast, but I did try it just surfing last night and had no problems.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because it's Dashlane's integrated into it. They know about each other. So even though you're on a VPN, your passwords are available.
No.
Which
no.
In Dashlane's version they are.
That doesn't sound particularly good.
If you think about it, yeah, okay. I don't know. There's obviously a conflict. Well, something doesn't make sense there. Let's go back to that one in a future episode.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad you mentioned it, because I have tried password managers in the past, but I found that when I'm using these sort of web development kits, and you move from field to field on the page, I was finding that the password manager was saying, "Oh, you want to go into that field? Okay, I'll have a quick look. Oh, you want to go into that field? Okay, I'll have a quick look." And it just screwed the whole workflow. And you won't know this, but is it okay for us? Does it work fine with Safari?
I don't see. It's agnostic as far as platforms concerned.
Whoa.
It works across all.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I like that.
Onto a bit of news to cheer us. Well, it's just a reality, really. And I'm not putting any UK news up, but the LA port is to open around the clock to tackle shipping queues. So we're not the only ones in the mire.
Boris's influence worldwide, then. Sorry.
It is, afraid so. There are ships queued up outside LA docks, and they're going to start working around the clock. And they had a photograph of all the ships just waiting to actually come towards the docks, sort of standing off in the sea. We're just saying, Peter, that Los Angeles port is to open around the clock to tackle shipping queues. I'm reading this just like a newsreader. Yeah. So,
and over to our reporter, Stephen Healy.
thank you. The problems are global, one thinks. It's not just us. And as we hinted earlier, the whole thing is structural. It's not just happened overnight. It's structural problems, which have been exacerbated. I use my journalist word, which have been exacerbated by Brexit and COVID.
And then back to the studio. Do any of you, either of you watch a guy called Jonathan Pye?
Sounds good. Oh, wait a minute. Peter's muted. Hang on.
Me, it's okay. I'd muted myself because the dog was barking and thought something.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I have seen Jonathan Pye, but I don't like it.
Say no more.
Right.
I'm happy to bring up anything, but I'm just cautioning you that, you know, it's not going to end.
Okay, let's
well, speaking of ending well,
a global topic. We're being told to do our bit for the planet, but we account for 1% of the Earth's problems in relation to climate change. 1%.
Yeah.
The UK.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have any skin in the game, really, do we?
Nope.
No, I think that they should get plane loads, charter planes, and put all the climate people, put them to China and India and see how they get on there.
China stopped building around the world, but increased the building at home. I mean,
right.
there's no. It's just, yeah.
We are. Don't want to be fatalistic about it, but we are actually doomed. Sorry.
No, we're not. They just need to start fracking. Remember, it was banned. They just need to,
are you in favour of fracking?
If it means that we're self-sufficient, yes.
In oil.
Yeah.
Or is it gas
or
oil?
We can't depend on countries like Russia to get fuel.
I know, but how does that mitigate against climate change? Maybe our 300th episode could be completely on climate change.
Oh, right. I won't come to that one right now. But what about? I mean, we've got wind things off there. Sometimes it does. Sometimes there's no wind, so they don't go round. So we need to. So what about lots of little nuclear plants throughout the country that do their bit local?
If it could be done, it'd be a good idea for sure, but it can't be done.
Made in Britain.
It can't be done though, Pete. The technology's not there for mini ones. You know, you can't have one like a fridge.
You can't. Yeah. You can't go back to coal because people go, what do we do for fuel?
Well, we are. In fact, up in Scotland, Johnson's opening a new coal field, isn't he?
I don't know. I haven't. As I say, I haven't watched the news recently.
Well, I recall that he talks the talk, and then, of course, when it comes to not walking the walk, I believe that in Scotland, and I'm not sure what Wee Cranky's doing about it. Am I right, Steve? Have you heard of this, Stephen, or not? Maybe another topic for that 300th.
Could be. Corinda says he's enjoying Windows 11, and I think that Corinda is. Oh, wait, let's wind back. Corinda is enjoying Windows 11. He was hating it yesterday, so it's obviously a love-hate relationship. I'm not going there yet. Are you going there, Peter?
No, I'm terrified. I'm terrified of updating Windows 10.
Right, Stephen?
No way.
Well, you're a Mac man anyway, so
absolutely.
Okay, and people are complaining about bees, possibly, and that's why we're talking about climate change, because we are just 1% of the solution or the problem, whichever way you look at it. Is it because people are not looking after the earth properly? Yes, it is. And we say good morning to. All right. Stephen, a friend of yours, or could be friend, you're united by your Macness. Nick Wood is saying get a mic.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea, Nick. Brilliant.
No,
Don't just
I've
get
got-
one, get 4.
I've got a bit of news.
Okay,
Did you know? Did you notice my last week I got a bronze? Did you notice that?
I did. Yes.
I
Yeah.
got a bronze, so it was great. I was in amongst real here. I was sitting at a table with 2 guys from the Falklands War that actually went up Mount Long,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
with their bayonets and everything. So and one of them goes around cleaning military headstones that have been neglected, and the other one fights. There's a lot of army guys, even if they've done 12 years, they don't realise they're due a pension. And a lot of them go to their graves without getting their pension. So he goes round and tries and gets that. But the big news is, I'm waiting for Amazon to deliver a new helmet from the bike that the microphone's built in and the speakers built in the helmet. And then I've got another thing that's coming that one of the problems of my French is a bit deaf. So when we're cycling, we can't really speak to each other, turn left. So
Okay.
I've got another one that attaches here, right? And it goes in front, and I can speak to the speaker and say, right, we're going to go left here, we're going to go right here. So that's my 2 gadgets. I've spent some money on them, and I just decided I was buying them. End of story.
I've got to go. Lovely to hear you. Lovely to see you all. Take good care.
Okay. Cheers,
Bye.
Stephen.
Bye.
To everybody who's been watching us today, thank you. Bye, and we'll see you
Bye.
next week for episode 300.
Yeah.
Bye, Peter.
Bye. Take care, guys.